Today I'll be showing you how to summon and defeat the secret boss in the Fossils and Archaeology mod. The secret boss being Anu, the Ancient King. Now for those of you who know, Anu is not a new mob, as in fact it's actually the first boss mob that was added back in June of 2015 in the 1.7.10 build 7.2, the Ancient Kings update. However, since the dinosaurs are the main attraction to this mod, they overshadow the archaeology side of things, which include Anu and everything about him. With that being said, who is Anu? Basically, he's an evil guy that is located in an evil lair that's actually just a massive castle in his own dimension that requires transporting through a portal. Now, of course, you may ask, okay, what's the incentive for me to go and kill this guy in his own house, in his own dimension? Well, by murdering Anu, he drops what is called an ancient key, which you will need to unlock the ancient treasure chest in a room that is literally called the room. In this chest is a special item called the ancient clock, which you need to activate the time machine, which will take you to a new dimension called the past that will allow you to witness dinosaurs walking freely in their own natural habitat. However, there's a caveat to this, and we'll get to that later on. So now that you know who Anu is and why you want to go to his house and murder him, there are a few items you will need. First off, Totem of Undying, a little bit of overkill, but you know, better safe than sorry. Then, building blocks like dirt or cobblestone, some good armor like iron, bone, and diamond. Then you will need an ancient helmet. This will protect you from the very annoying Anubite statues. These things, when you walk past them, they spring to life and they can really mess you up. It's pretty bad. And then you will need a bow with at least 2 stacks of arrows. However, one I recommend highly that they are slowness arrows. This is gonna be a massive advantage for you to defeat Anu as quickly as possible. Now, also a diamond pickaxe and fire resistant potions, and then finally normal and ender chests. Although this is the list of what is some fairly probably standard stuff you need to defeat any type of boss, but there are some crucial items you actually need for sure. So you need 4 redstone, 4 mysterious figurines. The condition does not matter, it can be broken or pristine, and then you need a scarab gem. So for the figurines, if you don't have any, you can grab some relic scraps. These you can get from mining biofossils. Take those scraps and place them into an analyzer, and that will get you those figurines. Now, grabbing yourself a scarab gem is going to be a lot more tedious. What you need is a level 3 archaeology enchanted pickaxe. Once you have that, you'll need to find yourself a volcano biome and mine as many shale biofossils as you can till you get a scarab gem. Now, of course, you can mine any biofossil, but the volcano biome provides you with an abundance of biofossil on the surface for you just to mine freely and very easily. Alright, step 2. How do we get there? Right, the first step to getting to Anu's castle, you need to find what is called a hell boat, which is a naturally generated structure in the nether. Now, the hell boat has some decent loot, but you know, the importance of that is to finding the statue of Anu. When you find this statue, grab yourself 4 redstone and those 4 figurines, surround the Anu statue. Once you have done this, the statue will explode and open up a one-way ticket to Anu's castle. And once you're through this portal, you'll be teleported to a platform which requires you to build a bridge, which is why you need those blocks, to get across the void to get to the castle. Quick reminder, make sure you have your ancient helmet equipped, because as soon as you get there, those statues are going to mess you up. Alright, step 3, how to summon and defeat Anu. So you made it this far, and now it's time to summon the Ancient King himself. Go ahead and make your way to the center of the castle and locate Anu's sarcophagus and place the scarab gem onto it. Then right click and boom, Anu is awakened. Now from here you can melee, you can use your sword, your axe, whatever you gotta do to deal some damage to Anu, but a more easier way to do this is to grab your bow and your slowness arrows and fire a few shots at Anu, and immediately you'll notice that he'll become a sloth and you can then finish the job. But stop here, very important detail, do not be silly like me and just don't copy what I did. So do not kill Anu next to fire or lava, because you do not want the ancient key to drop from Anu's body into the fire and not allowing you to open the chest and grab the ancient clock, which would force you to place your items into a chest. Like I mentioned earlier, you need those chests as a backup plan. If you like lose the key, you have to go and fall into the void on purpose to go back and grab another scarab gem, so you can then restart the whole process and kill Anu for a second time. But anyway, once Anu is dead and you picked up the ancient key, right click on his body to teleport you to the room. However, if you don't do this fast enough, his body will disappear, meaning you can't get to the room and you can't unlock the chest to grab the ancient clock. You'll have to go and, well, fall into the void and summon Anu again and defeat him again to get this to work. But again, once you've done this, you right click, grab that clock, and then go home and celebrate because you just summoned and defeated the ancient king. Congrats to you. Good job. Alright, lastly here, the caveats. So as I mentioned before, there are some caveats. Firstly, the past dimension, which would allow you to see those freely roaming dinosaurs, does not exist yet, or ever will actually ever exist. And that's because the developers themselves have stated that this dimension is likely to be scrapped. I would assume it's because they have other things on their priority list, and this will take a very long time to make. With that being said, it is up to you to craft the time machine, which by the way requires a nether star and 3 scarab gem, which I don't know about you guys, that's a very expensive item to craft, or sorry, not even an item, it's a block. It's a very expensive block to craft that may never ever have a purpose. So I mean, if you want a display piece and you have extra things laying around to make this block, I mean, go ahead and do so. But that's about it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and enjoyable, maybe even, and I will see you guys later.